Hey everyone, welcome to Kicking with Kipes. I'm Kipes, and today is January the 12th, 2025. We had 5 games on the schedule, not too many to cover, but let's waste no time and let's get right into it. Hopping right into it, we got the Detroit Red Wings facing off against the Seattle Kraken at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, where the Detroit Red Wings kick the living snot out of the Sea Monsters, winning 6-2. The Red Wings, they scored 4 first period goals within 3 minutes and 30 seconds. This was the 8th game under new head coach Todd McClellan, and the only loss that they had was in his first game as head coach against the Maple Leafs, where they got absolutely stomped. So it did take one game, but ever since that point, they have been lights out, no questions asked. A very good hockey team, very impressive hockey team. The Red Wings, they have crawled their way back into the playoff picture. They are only 2 points out of that second wildcard spot with a game in hand on the Columbus Blue Jackets. So this is just adding to the teams that are going to be fighting for those 2 wildcard spots, and it's going to be an absolute dogfight, and I am here for it. There was several players that had great games for the Detroit Red Wings today. Dylan Larkin, Eric Gustafsson, former Toronto Maple Leaf, Patrick Kane, and Marco Kasper each had a goal and an assist in this game. Outstanding performances from those players, as well as Vladimir Tarasenko, Lucas Raymond, and Moritz Seider, each getting 2 assists. So everybody contributed in this game for the Detroit Red Wings. It was a full team effort. The Detroit Red Wings, they are now 20-18-4. They have improved their record completely since letting their old coach go. Just to add on to the accolades for the Detroit Red Wings, they haven't won 7 games in a row since 2012. That is absolutely absurd how good of a hockey team this is right now. Between the pipes for the Detroit Red Wings was Cam Talbot. He made 30 saves in the winning effort. The 2 goal scorers for the Seattle Kraken, one was Matty Beniers and the other was Oliver Bjorkstrand. They now drop to 18, 23, and 3, just slipping away their season in the Western Conference. It's not been very good at all for Dan Bylsma and Jessica Campbell behind the bench for the first year. They have now lost 5 of 6 games. They are 1-4-1 in that stretch. It was a night to forget for both goaltenders of the Seattle Kraken. Philip Grubauer, he allowed 3 goals on 4 shots before getting yanked in the first period. That is an absolute embarrassment of a stat for Philip Grubauer. What has happened to that goaltender ever since he won the cup with the Washington Capitals? He's just gone downhill ever since the Seattle Kraken picked him up and gave him a good contract. After Philip Grubauer stank up the joint, Joey Decord came into net and he let 3 goals in on 20 shots. Still not good whatsoever for Joey Decord since coming back after his injury. Alex DeBrincat, he is having a nice little run of games right now. He is on a 7-game point streak where he has 11 points. Very good performances from that small little player as of late. So the Detroit Red Wings, they are back into the playoff picture. They win 6-2 over the disappointing Seattle Kraken on Sunday afternoon. We move on to the Ottawa Senators taking on the Dallas Stars in Ottawa, where the Ottawa Senators, they agree with my predictions and they won 3-2. Levi Merilainen, he played again tonight after getting a shutout in last night's game. I guess the head coach of the Ottawa Senators was okay with him getting the start because he didn't get many shots last night, so he probably wasn't being overtaxed on his goaltending duties. So in he came once again and played amazing, making 24 saves. The 22-year-old goaltender, he has won 3 of his first 4 starts of his career. He is having an absolutely lights out start to his career. He was a replacement for Linus Ullmark after he went down injured. Linus Ullmark still listed as week to week, so that is not good news for the Ottawa Senators. But there is a little bit of a consolation due to the fact that this goalie has come up from the Belleville Senators and has played so good. The 3 goal scorers for the Ottawa Senators was Tim Stützle, Josh Norris, and Matthew Highmore. They all scored for the Senators, and they improved to 21-18-3. The Senators, they have now won 2 straight after losing 4 in a row. The 2 goal scorers for the Dallas Stars, one was Jason Robertson after scoring the game-winning goal in the shootout last night for the Stars, and Evgeny Dadonov. We haven't said his name very often for the Dallas Stars, so he finally came through with a goal. The Stars, they dropped to 27-14-1. They are still having a very good season, so this just makes that win for the Ottawa Senators that much more impressive. Casey Smith was in net for the Dallas Stars. He made 25 saves in the losing effort. And the Dallas Stars, for some reason, they cannot win in Canada's capital. They have not won a single game in Ottawa since 2016. They are 0-6-2 in the 8 attempts of trying to get a win. So the Ottawa Senators, they win 3-2 against the very good Dallas Stars. Heading over to the state of Pennsylvania, we got the Pittsburgh Penguins facing off against the Tampa Bay Lightning, where the Tampa Bay Lightning, they must have been watching my predictions video because they decided to pull off a win today and getting the win 5-2. Nikita Kucherov was the star of tonight's game. He got 2 goals and an assist. His game-winning goal was very late. 3 minutes left in the game to be exact. Brandon Hagel and Anthony Cirelli each had a goal and an assist in this game. Anthony Cirelli, he also had 2 assists in this game, so the top forwards for the Tampa Bay Lightning took care of the job tonight. Jonas Johansson, he was in net for the Tampa Bay Lightning. He made 31 saves in the winning effort. The Lightning, they improved to 23-15-3, who are now 3-0-1 in their past 4 games. This was a good little bounce back win for the Tampa Bay Lightning as they lost in overtime against the New Jersey Devils yesterday. So this was very much needed for their squad to get morale back up. For the Pittsburgh Penguins, Rickard Rakell, he had a goal and an assist. Kevin Hayes, he also scored for the Penguins. Tristan Jarry in net, he only had to make 14 saves in the loss, but they dropped to 18-19-8, so they are having another disappointing, mediocre season under Kyle Dubas. So they gotta figure out what their next step is. They don't have Evgeny Malkin right now, so that is a good excuse for them. But at the same time, is it an excuse? You a lot of people expected this mediocrity from them heading into the season, and is it time to start talking about selling some players? But they also didn't have Michael Bunting in this game because he unfortunately got in a car accident heading into the arena today, so he could not play. Mike Sullivan, head coach of the Pittsburgh Penguins, did say that he was okay and could be back in the next game. Brandon Hagel and Nikita Kucherov are the 3rd and 4th Lightning players this season to get over 20 goals this season, so they are getting not even depth scoring. They're getting scoring from the players that need to do this. And 4 players with over 20 goals or 20 goals or more so far this season is just outstanding. And everybody is contributing, especially their new addition, Jake Guentzel. So the 4 players for the Lightning that are now at 20 goals or more is Jake Guentzel, Braden Point, Brandon Hagel, and Nikita Kucherov. So their star players are definitely holding their own this season. So the Pittsburgh Penguins, they lose to the Tampa Bay Lightning 5-2. We head on over to Raleigh, North Carolina, where the Carolina Hurricanes are playing against the Anaheim Ducks. And the Anaheim Ducks, they screw me over in my predictions. I could have gone 5 for 5 in today's video if it wasn't for the stupid Ducks. And they end up winning 3-2. Cutter Gauthier, he got 2 goals in the winning effort for the Ducks. He was the game-winning goal in overtime as well for the Anaheim Ducks. He carried the puck over his own blue line into the offensive zone, cut into the middle of the ice for a wrist shot. Beautiful shot. He desperately needed this after getting ransacked, after absolutely getting beaten and bruised by Philadelphia Flyers players and fans last night. This was exactly what he needed. The Carolina Hurricanes, they did not make it easy for the Anaheim Ducks to get the 2 points, as Seth Jarvis on the Team Canada for the Four Nations face-off in about a month. Actually, it's a month exactly today before this tournament starts. So Seth Jarvis, he needs to start picking it up once again. He is an exceptional player. I love Seth Jarvis as a player, and I can't wait to see what he does wearing the red and white for the country. But in a month, that tournament will be taking place, and he will be considered a depth player. So we'll see what happens there. Getting back on track, Seth Jarvis, he scored with 56 seconds left in the period for the Hurricanes with the extra attacker on. So they only got 1 point out of this game, but that is 1 point more than they were expecting to get with less than a minute to play. Like I just mentioned, Cutter Gauthier, he got 2 of the 3 goals for the Anaheim Ducks today. Jansen Harkins, he got the other goal for the Anaheim Ducks. Lucas Dostal, he made 35 saves for the Anaheim Ducks. They improved to 18, 20, and 5. They had lost 3 in a row, 0, 2, and 1 in that span. On top of Seth Jarvis's goal, Andrei Svechnikov, he got the other goal for the Carolina Hurricanes. Pyotr Kochetkov, he was in net. He made 17 saves. So the Ducks didn't even make it a hard night for him tonight, and he still couldn't help the team pull out a win. The Hurricanes, they dropped to 26, 15, and 3. They had won 2 in a row heading into this game, and I would consider this just a little bump in the road for the Hurricanes. We all know that they are an exceptional hockey team. Svechnikov, he is on a personal 5-game point streak. He has a single point in each one of those games, so he is also on a nice little run of games. The Anaheim Ducks, they surprised everyone tonight by beating the Carolina Hurricanes 3-2 in overtime thanks to Cutter Gauthier. Our last game of the evening is the Minnesota Wild in Vegas taking on the Golden Knights, where they lose 4-1. Pavel Dorofeyev, he got 2 goals on the power play for the Vegas Golden Knights, helping them get to the win. Tomas Hertl, he had a goal and an assist in this game. Keegan Colasar, he also scored for the Vegas Golden Knights. And Shea Theodore and Mark Stone each had 2 assists for the Vegas Golden Knights. They improved to 29, 11, and 3. They are now back on track. Like I predicted, the Vegas Golden Knights, they were going to come into this game pissed off because they had lost 2 straight games to 2 New York teams, 2 crappy New York teams. So they were going to be pretty ticked off and pull off the win against a very good Minnesota team. Adin Hill, goaltender for the Vegas Golden Knights, he was in net making 15 saves. He was not busy whatsoever. He only had 16 shots on net. I don't know how Minnesota couldn't make him a little bit busier, but that's what happened, and Vegas will not complain about it. The Golden Knights, they were also without star forward Jack Eichel tonight due to an illness, so they pulled off this big win against a rival for the Western Conference standings without a star forward. So this is good news for Vegas. The lone goal scorer for the Minnesota Wild was Ryan Hartman. Philip Gustafsson was in net for the Wild. He made 32 saves. He was very busy, although the Vegas goalie was not at all. So Gustafsson, he made 32 saves in the losing effort for Minnesota. They dropped to 27, 13, and 4. They're still having an outstanding season. Nobody's really complaining about this, except that they didn't really show up in tonight's game. They were on the back half of a back-to-back, though. They did win last night against San Jose, so they might have been a little tired, but at the same time, is that really an excuse? You need to show up for these big games no matter what. Like I mentioned previously, it was Colasar, Hertl, and Dorofeyev in the third period, making the game completely out of sight for the Wild. So the Vegas Golden Knights, they win 4-1 over the Minnesota Wild on Sunday evening. All right, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Tell me, how did you do in your predictions? I would love it if more people could post in the comments what their predictions are for each day's game. Today, I was 4 for 5, completely better than my last night's debacle where I got like under 50%, which is pathetic on all standards. But at the same time, let me know how you did. Keep commenting, keep predicting, and at the same time, we will see you tomorrow. Actually, that is false. Tomorrow is Mix It Up Monday. I will be posting a couple videos to mix it up for the beginning of the week. We will see you then. See you on Tuesday. We got a whack of games. I think it's 13 on Tuesday to cover. We will see you Tuesday night. Have a great night. Thank you so much for everything. Talk to you later.